Hi everyone, good morning. Hope you all are doing well. In previous lesson you have learned about nutrition in plants. Now we are going to learn about nutrition in animals. You know that plants are the primary source of food for all animals. They are called as autotrophs. Plants prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process through which plants prepare food from water and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. Oxygen also released into the air by this process. Animals get their food from plants either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating animals that eat plants. Animals can be categorized into three: herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores. Herbivores are the animals that eat only plants. For example, cow, goat, buffalo, etc. Carnivores are the animals that eat only flesh of other animals. For example, tiger, lion, etc. And finally, omnivores. Omnivores are the animals that eat both the flesh and the plants. Example, bear, human being, etc. All organisms, including humans, require food for the growth, repair, and functioning of the body. Animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, and its utilization in the body. Do you know what is nutrition? It is the process of obtaining food and then using it for obtaining energy, growth, and repair of the body. There are 5 steps involved in the process of nutrition in animals. First step is ingestion. It is the process of taking food into the body. Second one is digestion. It is the process of breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances. Third step is absorption, the process in which the digested food passes into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. That is, after digestion, food molecules become small and soluble. This food passes through the walls of our intestine and goes into the blood. Fourth step is assimilation. It is the process in which the absorbed food is taken in by the body cells and used for energy, growth, and repair. Blood carries the absorbed food to all the parts of the body. And the last step is digestion. It is the process in which the undigested food is removed from the body. The whole food which we eat is not digested by our body. A part of the food remains undigested, which cannot be used by the body. And so it is removed from the body in the form of fecal matter when we go to the toilet. Now let us know the mode of taking food in different organisms. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. For example, snakes. Snakes like python swallow the animals they prey upon. Honeybee and hummingbird suck the nectar from flowers. Some aquatic animals like fishes filter tiny particles floating nearby and feed upon them. Female mosquito suck the blood from humans. Starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. After opening the shell, the starfish pops out its stomach through its mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. The stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly digested. Here are other animals. Snail ant. The mode of feeding in snail and ant are scrapping. Do you know what is scrapping? It is the mode of nutrition in which insect scraps the food with the jaws. The mode of feeding in eagle is capturing and swallowing. In the case of hummingbird, lice, mosquito, the mode of feeding is sucking. The mode of feeding in butterfly is siphoning. Siphoning is a mode of nutrition in which animals suck the food. Then finally, the mode of feeding in the case of housefly is sponging. Do you know what is sponging? It is the mode of nutrition found in houseflies in which insects secrete saliva over the food and dissolved food is drawn up into the mouth of insect in solution form. Now let us know about the digestion. As we know, all food that we intake consists of many components like carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, etc. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. For example, carbohydrate are complex substances and they cannot be utilized as such. Therefore, they are broken down into simpler substances like glucose and are utilized. Now let's talk about human digestive system. Humans intake the food through the mouth. Then the food is digested and utilized by the body. The unused portion of the food are defecated. Now let us learn in detail about how the food is digested in humans. The food we intake passes through the alimentary canal or digestive tract, which begins at the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. The alimentary canal can be divided into 6 compartments, namely the buccal cavity, food pipe or esophagus, then stomach, then small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The food components gradually get digested as the food travels through these compartments. The alimentary canal or digestive tract and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. The various glands like salivary glands, liver, pancreas and the inner walls of the stomach and the small intestine secrete digestive juices. The digestive juices convert complex substances of food into simpler ones. Now let us know what happens to the food in different parts of the digestive tract. Let us start with mouth and buccal cavity. In humans, the food is taken into the body through the mouth. The process of taking food into the body is called ingestion. We chew the food with the teeth and mechanically break it down into small pieces. Each tooth is rooted in a separate socket in the gums. There are four types of teeth in humans based on their appearance and functions. They are named as molars, premolars, incisors, and canine. The first set of teeth grows during infancy and they fall off at the age between 6 to 8 years. These are termed milk teeth. The second set that replaces milk teeth are called permanent teeth. The permanent teeth may last throughout life or fall off during old age or due to some dental diseases. As we discussed, there are four types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. These teeth help us in cutting, biting, piercing, tearing, chewing, and grinding foods. First one is incisors. Incisors are used to cutting and biting of food. Canine. Canines are the sharpest teeth and are used for piercing and tearing food. Then premolars and molars. These teeth are used for chewing and grinding food. Human mouth have salivary glands that secrete saliva. The saliva break down the starch into sugars. Next is tongue. It is a fleshy muscular organ attached at the back to the floor of the buccal cavity. It is free at the front and can be moved in all directions. We use tongue for talking. It mixes saliva with the food during chewing and helps in swallowing food. We also taste our food with our tongue. It has taste bud that detect different tastes of food. Next one is esophagus. The swallowed food passes into the food pipe or esophagus. The food pipe runs along the neck and the chest. Food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of the food pipe. This movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal and pushes the food downwards. Next one is stomach. The stomach is a thick walled bag. Its shape is like a flattened J and it is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It receives food from the food pipe at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other end. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. The mucus protects the lining of the stomach. The acid kills many bacteria that enter along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic. This helps the digestive juices to act. The digestive juices break down the proteins into simpler substances. Small intestine. It is highly coiled and is about 7.5 meters long. It receives secretions from the liver and the pancreas. Its wall also secretes juices. Liver. The liver is a reddish brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It is the largest gland in the body. Liver is the largest gland in the body. Liver secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac called gallbladder. This bile plays an important role in the digestion of fats. Liver is the largest gland in the body. It secretes bile juice that helps to digest fat. Next one, pancreas. It is a large cream colored gland located just below the stomach. The pancreatic juice acts on carbohydrate, fat, and proteins and changes them into simpler forms. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine where the intestinal juice complete the digestion of all components of the food. The carbohydrate broken into simple sugars such as glucose, fat into fatty acids and glycerol, protein into amino acids. Next we are going to discuss about absorption in the small intestine. The completely digested food can now pass into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine. This process is called absorption. The inner wall of the small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowths. These are called villi. The villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Each villus has a network of thin and small blood vessels close to its surface. Villi absorbs the digested food materials and are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body where they are used to build complex substances such as the proteins required by the body. This is called assimilation. It is the process in which the absorbed food, here the absorbed food is taken in by the body cells and they are used for energy, growth and repair. This process is called assimilation. In the cells, glucose breakdown with the help of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water. Energy is also released during this process. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed then enter into large intestine. Large intestine, it is wider and shorter than small intestine. is about 1.5 meter in length. Its function is to absorb water and some salts from the undigested food material. The remaining waste passes into the rectum and remains there as semi-solid feces. The fecal matter is removed through the anus from time to time. This is called egestion. It is the process in which the undigested food is removed from the body. Now let us summarize what we have learned. In humans, the food inside the body passes through alimentary canal or digestive tract. It consists of buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Now let us know what happens to the food in different parts of the digestive tract. Digestion starts in mouth. Our teeth break down the food into smaller pieces and saliva in our mouth produced by the salivary glands causes the breakdown of starches into sugars. When the food we eat becomes soft mass, our tongue pushes it to the food pipe or esophagus. Esophagus is the long tube that runs from neck to the chest. The movement of its wall pushes down the food into the stomach. The stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is a thick-walled bag with a flattened J shape. In the stomach, the food is mixed with digestive juices including hydrochloric acid. These chemicals break down the proteins into simpler substances. After about 4 hours in the stomach, food changes to a semi-fluid mass of the partially digested food and passes into the small intestine. Small intestine is the longest part of the digestive tract and it is about 7.5 meter in length. It is the part where most of the nutrients of the food are absorbed. Liver and pancreas also join the digestion. Liver secretes bile juice stored in a gallbladder and helps in the digestion of fat, whereas pancreatic juices break down proteins and carbohydrate. After that, partly digested food reaches the small intestine and the intestinal juices break down carbohydrate into glucose, fat into fatty acid and glycerol, proteins into amino acid, and complete the digestion of food. Now the digested food passes into the bloodstream. This process is called absorption. The inner wall of small intestine have thousands of finger-like outgrowth. These are called villi. The villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food. Then the absorbed substances are transported via the blood vessels to different organs of the body, where they are used to build complex substances such as proteins. This is called assimilation. The undigested food and unabsorbed food then passes into the large intestine. Large intestine is wider than small intestine. It is about 1.5 meter in length. Large intestine absorb water and some salt from the undigested food material. Once most of the water is gone, solid waste moves through the last part of the large intestine called rectum. The fecal matter is removed through the anus. This is called egestion. So this way the human digestion completes.